Welcome to Bitcoin, Beer, and BitStories by Draper Startup Salesman. Our official media partner is BitPinas, a content website that promotes the positive growth of Philippine fintech industry, especially cryptocurrency and blockchain through information, news, and education. So if you want to stay up to date with your daily Web3 news, visit bitpinas.com. So, hi guys, I'm Cholo Puno, the new events coordinator here at ESH Manila, and I will be your host for tonight. Quick background about me. I actually recently just joined DSH because I really wanted to be a part of a diverse community that explores different kinds of ventures. I find it very fascinating hearing about different businesses, solving different problems, and paving a new way to go about everyday life. Anyway, yes, you'll see me more often, and I can't wait to meet each and every one of you. First off, can I just say that it is so nice to see like-minded people gathered in one place that celebrates startup and Web3 culture. Nothing feels better than being part of a community that someone can relate to what us entrepreneurs are going through. For those of you who don't know much about Draper Startup House Manila, we're not just an ordinary hotel. What makes us unique is that we offer entrepreneurial tourism. Here in Draper Startup House Manila, we encourage different startups to promote their platform and talk about their journey to the startup and Web3 community. Our goal is to enable 1 million entrepreneurs by 2030 by organizing these community events to connect and inspire and empower entrepreneurs in our space. So thank you everyone for being with us here tonight, and we are very much excited to show you what we have in store. By the way, guys, there's another plug. Feel free to indulge yourself with refreshments and alcohol. And we have a pop-up cafe 1475. They make great coffee. So enjoy. Now let me hand the mic over to Paper Startup House Manila's very own founder, Christian.
Right. Let's give it up for show. He just joined like 3 days ago, and like he's here for like all of these events and websites. So awesome. So yeah, you guys who knows what 3% house is? I see some like new faces. You usually come here. So in 3% house, as Shola was saying, it's not just a hotel, it's not a co-working space, it's a whole community. It's a community of entrepreneurs and investors. And what we started is entrepreneurial tourism. So we started in Singapore about 3 years ago, and then we started in India. So far, we up to today we have 35 locations around the world. And our plan is by 2024 to be 100 locations. So we're franchising. If you guys like want to open, I see some foreign friends here. I'm also from Costa Rica. I'm absolutely Filipino, but so yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. If you're an entrepreneur and just want to set up a hub, maybe set up house in your country or in La Union, in Siargao, come talk to me. I mean, we're expanding and we want to have more partners. Now, the journey when I moved here to Philippines, that was like 5 years ago. I was like China, and I used to go out and like find information about the business to start in Philippines. Like so, we see like not least we see different spaces that show information about like business here or business in South Asia or like around the world. And I felt like a lot of the information was not very accurate. Then I started joining like events and like it was kind of like hit or miss. Like hopefully this is when you guys connect and meet a lot of like new people. But 50% was like like ICOs, they were just raising money and not doing anything like useful, and then there was like really good conference ignited. So the third part that I was thinking was to go somewhere that was fun. I was joining a lot of the after parties, a lot of the conferences were not fun. The parties were fun. So basically, hostels are usually a lot of fun. Like big conference spaces where people can connect and meet other people. And what we're doing is like adding the entrepreneurial side. So when you guys travel to Bangalore, when you guys travel to Singapore, it's basically a space for founders to go and connect with capital, connect with fellow like-minded entrepreneurs. So the whole ecosystem. That's what Draper House is. We are backed by Tim Draper. He's a venture capitalist from Silicon Valley. 25 venture funds around the world. In our platform, we have 5 million funds. So if you guys are here to raise money, if you guys are here to pitch, we're gonna have 5 pitches later. Six, uh, 6 pitches from amazing companies, mainly in the Web3 space, mainly in the NFT space, which is hot in the Philippines. We get all the time asked about like what's going on in the Philippines. So we're getting a lot of people wanting to come and experience and connect with this community. And that's where BBB, Bitcoin Beer and BitStories started, like to showcase more of the Filipino talent. Today we have amazing talent, so I'll pass that back to Choco. So we keep with the plan and like guys enjoy it. Network at the end will be around, so looking forward to talk to all of you guys. Yeah, Christian is amazing man.
Okay, so now let me give the floor to Michael Yuson, editor-in-chief of our official media partner, BitPinas. Michael?
And hi everyone, good evening. And thank you to Team for allowing us to be part of this event. At BitPinas, we are a application and we started in 2017. So we've been covering the story of cryptocurrency blockchain in the Philippines since then. And as you know, the story has expanded actually to play to earn, NFT, and Web3 and now. And from the stories above, you can see just how much the space has changed since 2017, huh? And that we have to meet each other face to face to transact. So, and then at some point there were single landed pages, and then we played or buy Bitcoin there. And then, but virtual currency transactions really spiked around 2020, and most especially last year. So suddenly, us at BitPinas, we have a lot of work to do. And so now we have added more lighters that way we are having two people. And ultimately us at Big Finance, we want to make sure we cover every facets of this industry from the grassroots and to the pronouncement from our regulators. So our focus this August is to really get to know the community and the Web3 projects. That's why we're excited to be here and and publish them and publish the values on our site. So please looking forward to our website, BitPinas.com, and our Facebook pages. We will be writing more about you guys who are here. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So, yeah. Since the theme of the night is NFT, we thought it would be the best opportunity to officially announce our upcoming project called Artist Collective. Artist Collective gathers artists in our space to build Manila's Web3 hub together, while providing the support these artists need. The theme for this project is Meta Manila. So reimagine the future of Manila with Web3. Meta Manila is all about freedom, decentralization, ownership, access to resources, inclusion, and diversity, powered by entrepreneurial startup heroes in the city. So here is a quick look at our roadmap, which we'll get to know more about during our discussion in a bit. First, we would provide artist residency. Yes, they will be staying here at the Papers Market House, Manila, and they will have an exhibition. Second would be we will be minting artworks through major NFT platforms like and then lastly, we will help the artists with their incubation program. Now, May I call on Christian again? Yeah, Christian. And then I call on, hello? Okay, then. Francis. Sorry, I'm not James, right? Hello, hello. There you go. I'll call on Francis then from Likha and Kat de Guzman from Filipinas NFT, Robert Arias from Crypto NFT. Yeah, and lastly, Bandy. Hi, Bandy from Likha NFT as well. Ooh, made up just in time. All right, guys. I'll call on I'll call on now Michael back again to the stage to help us moderate. Okay, thank you. So welcome to our first panel for tonight, where we discuss this new initiative, the Artist Collective from the paper startup House Manila. So I'm sure most people here already know some Web3 and NFTs. So we'll skip to the part wherein we will ask each and every one of you what led you to this, rabbit hole that is Web3 and NFTs. So start with you, the jobs.
Hello, I'm Collective from PH. I started late 2020. Um, I have no idea what crypto art is or NFT. Um, and one of our is to raise funds for the recent site in the Philippines. It was so yeah, and that's my main motivation of doing crypto art that time. So that started everything. I was introduced to the greater crypto art community, the collectors, the Filipino people who started with us. So, yeah.
Hello, my name is Pat. I am a co-founder of Filipinas NFT. So Filipinas NFT was born uh, where a few of us, a few women, just sent a message in a Web3 Facebook group and said, "Oh, maybe there are women in Web3 here. Maybe we can have a group chat or something." So that kind of started the whole um, Abante Babae movement of Filipinas NFT. So that was February, and then we just came together with our love of art, culture, music in Web3, and with a vision of onboarding other artists in the state. Um, right. So that's something we've been doing up until this point, and hopefully until years to come. Okay.
Uh, Good evening. I'm Francis, watercolor artist from Philippines and member of Collective Art PH and Charity, partnering with Likha NFT, which is marketplace for Filipino artists. And say that I started last 2021, which my friend encouraged me to try the NFC. But before, I was traditional artist, watercolor artist. I mainly do landscape subjects. I encouraged to do and try the NFT because of the promising and uh, the opportunities given to the artists like me. Especially, I'm a small time artist here in the Philippines. And I must say that NFT give us me the more opportunity and encourage me to do such innovations like that. Thank you.
So, I mean, I'm not an artist. You guys heard me before about Urban Startup House. So I think our purpose with this artist collective is similar to what we do with entrepreneurs and founders. We want to do the same for artists. So it's sort of like this is a pilot, and the idea is like to create an accelerator for artists, and we connect them with some local and foreign NFT programs that are looking talent from Philippines is amazing for that. We all know that. But not only that, the Philippines also building a lot of like good products that gonna be around the world. So yeah, our purpose is to create that community. As an entrepreneur, you could be lonely, and we feel the same for artists. Like, you can come and stay in our space and collaborate and brainstorm together. And like, there's different styles, there's different ideas, there's different things we want to create in one space. That's the first purpose. Then the second one is like, we have a lot of NPC spaces. So we want to give some ownership for people to create cool stuff around the space. And we're not just doing that to save money. We want to create like ownership, which is what creation about ownership. We want to do the same with the spaces that we have. So we want to have that creative output of the offline side, and then obviously there's gonna be an online component. So I mean these guys are all very well versed with Web3, but we want to support also the traditional artists who are not like well versed in Web3 and train them or explain them together. Like this pilot that I think some of how it works is all driven by the community. And then third is to understand the problems, like the main big problems and how we can create a program that could help them go over those challenges and potentially expand through the network of startup houses that we have around the world. So that's in essence the artist collective. My first encounter with NFT is more as a collector. I love the whole like offline collecting things that they patent as well. Like say they come from one place and keep it for a long time. So I'm an offline off-chain collector and I started with Web3 and yeah, so excited to see and start collecting art from the Philippines.
Thank you. Hi, so I'm Van. So I'm part of Likha. Likha is an NFT marketplace here in the Philippines. I get to start to answer your question of how I first started with NFT. It was around, I think it was around July or around June last year when I started dabbling into NFT. And then around August and September, that's when I realized NFT time for me, and then that's when I started focusing on the lab. Then throughout that journey, so it was around September when we started Big House. And with that, actually, what we really wanted to do is come up with a place where all Filipino artists can thrive. And actually, that's where we met each other and like some of the really talented artists are, yeah, they're talented already in the space. And what they now wanted to do is to basically like put them all together in one pedestal so we can like showcase Filipino talent to the rest of the world. So yeah, the reason again like why we're doing this is Christian was saying like with labor it's more of that how to where talent can actually cultivate and things that usually of like, creative every year. So yeah, so that's like
Thank you so much, and I think it's very interesting to find out that most of you have started differently, although it seems like most of last year and late last year, but there are different points of was that 10 times. So I would like to ask the artist first. Um, so there are unique challenges. Of course, I understand that there are challenges already in the traditional art scene, right? So how about the challenges that you face as a as an artist here in web? So are they different? Are they similar? Or maybe just here start?
the traditional art space is the same with the Web3, what's happening in Web3. There's always a pain point of being exposed to the proper audience. And yeah, I think artist needs the audience for them to grow. And of course collectors, proper collectors to to see them and a curated platform for them to really uh, push the boundaries of their creativity. And yeah, those are the things that challenge.
In our experience in Filipinas NFT, most of the challenges would come about the education part of it because there are a lot of artists, women creatives that are very interested in bridging, making their art as an NFT. They just don't know where, they don't know where to begin. Um, they don't actually, they feel very overwhelmed with the space because, I mean, real talk, the Web3 space is very, sometimes very, man centered, I guess, very masculine, I would say, that some of the women creatives are quite overwhelmed or intimidated that they don't know how to talk to them about it. They don't know how to. They don't know where they would step in and start their web page journey. So I think that is what we are trying to um how do you say it's what we're trying to address. Giving them safe space to learn how to um jump into the web page journey, jump into the web career. Um, without feeling that intimidation of uh talking talking to others who are scary to them, I guess. So yeah, I think that is in our perspective, that is our main challenge, just to educate the creatives and how start their revenue.
Yeah, agree. In Chinese, we have three, especially education, lack of education, especially in the Philippines. And as an artist, the main challenge is that I haven't encountered how I do encourage my traditional collector to go with three space. And aside from that, I have difficulty how do you say that? I have difficulty marketing my work. Uh, I do mainly do the marketing only last Facebook, and in Web3, you should do familiar that um, especially the marketplace, for example, OpenSea, masyado na siyang congested for the Filipino artists, hindi nabibigyan ng emphasis yung mga one-man artists. So, yun ang tingin kong sa mga challenges. And apart from that, uh, yun lang. Yun lang.
Yeah. I guess one of the reasons, so another the background of Atlantic 10 years of advertising as a creative. So my background is art based. So when I first started this and NFTs, I actually tried to jump in and be an NFT artist around September. This is the time when I first wanted to just experiment. And I think this is the best thing about NFT for me. And as as someone who loves the new tech or new media to play around with, NFT is what it's the kind you can be creative, you can be playful, it's not just limited to a JPEG, it's not just limited to a factor, okay? You can actually come up with more layers that you can make it animated, etc. Um, when I first started though, I think the main problem is really the what they all said is really it's really hard to use. And it's like, especially even I think now we're here like what 18 months is 10 months in we sort of get it, but for normal people, especially artists, 100% it's hard to have small get it has to save it to and ito, kasi this is a good stuff like that. And I guess for me, as an artist, you just want to create. And if NFTs is the new videos, then that's created the new videos. But if there are ways to think, like ease of access, like more like for better education for newcomers to like grow in, I think that's the main challenge that what we're thinking about right now.
So, thank you so much for those. And let me ask if you are the entrepreneur, and the non-collect, the artist, the non-artist, but the collector, what do you get as an author? I mean, what do you see as the main challenge for the artist in the Web3, and how can Draper startup house or Draper particular integrated art collective can help them with this work?
Yeah, I think that it resonates a lot with being an entrepreneur. I think with like an entrepreneur, with you have businesses, you get full context. When I don't want to choose a sales, I want to do the picture, then I get somebody who's very helpful, or if I'm not good at numbers, then I get somebody that deals with the finance. That's sort of like something that we as entrepreneurs can do. Now, art is a lot more difficult, right? It's not like you just outsource or like have this with somebody else and you always have collective. It's always like you. So that's something that is very interesting. And I think that's what we're going to decide to do, understand that and resonate some of that an entrepreneur happens, I think, for artists. To get on. Also, at times that, we put a lot of effort on the output and it's not working. Same like the entrepreneur, it takes a lot of time for things to actually gain traction. When you have a creative output, then you don't know, like, people appreciate it, like, what you can find or you don't find. So yeah, I think that's the things that you want to understand and then put into place like some things that we use in incubators and actually universities around the world with entrepreneurs that nobody's really doing for artists at least now where there's level Web3 space. So that's something that we from the Arts Collective, represent house want to do and understand better. So that's what we want to work together and collaboratively like understand how we can actually be helpful. And then yeah, artists are becoming consumers in my mind. There is creating obviously similar to what we do running a company. They just run differently. Maybe what they need is more of the support, maybe like a marketing team that can actually work for artists, maybe somebody that takes their accounting. Right? Some of those things that like artists don't want to deal with that. Like, me as an entrepreneur don't want to deal with all these things either. So we have a team. So what if we just create a, a group of people that can manage and handle these kind of artists. So then artists can actually make these spaces like this. So that you know, creating them, which is what you guys want to do.
Thank you so much. Then I really mentioned we wanted to mention that, for example, on BitPinas, so we have been hiring since 2017, and I've seen how that in each cycle, or I guess in each year, um, there goes support. For example, investors and leaders, and then energy projects. And they are now well supported, I think, here in the country, but I don't see that level of support to the artists. And this is what I have mentioned also in one of the events that I spoke at, I guess this weekend. So I want to go to arts collective, and you have mentioned earlier the roadmap and plans. I don't know how it started. Then how did you select who will be collaborating with? And for the artists, I want to know what you look forward to this particular partnership.
Yeah, so we're doing it very similarly to what we're doing with our fund. So Riverside House as a fund, we have $2 million we invest in art on the so the process for the artists that are here today are people that have been active in our community. And they do our events, they have like, supporting the other artists, they see the vision, they want to work together, they want to collaborate, they are helpers in the space. So I think this is sort of like the leaders of the space, and then we potentially onboard other like not as first people. So the center of all of these things is the community. That's how we started to select the first batch of artists, and this is, as you mentioned earlier, a pilot. And then the idea is like later it would be like through a different process that hopefully these pilots and these batch are actually the ones who will select presenting artists that have a better eye at rating and drop and has done it like with different other like groups or collectives that he inside manages. So that's something that we want to collaborate with artists. We just want to bring some of the business elements to the table and see how it goes. Like we can together solve a lot of issues and problems that they face, so we know how to.
Um, I think greater artist collective program is giving opportunities, especially to the artists like me. And I'm looking forward to partnering with this kind of program because as an artist, it is hard for me to create something that I'm not comfortable with. And I think with this program, I could explore more videos, I guess, and exploration, and and will do improving my skills as well. And yeah, thank you for giving for the opportunity.
It would be such a great opportunity, to be able to champion these artists in any way possible at this time is just, the thing that we really want to achieve. And we're very, very fortunate to have Draper Stars of House Manila to host this kind of program for our artists because, in any way that we're able to highlight them, let them thrive in their artistic our artistry, let them explore out of the box and the program is just very out of the box. It will definitely uh improve our how do you say it? Our disposition as artists. We're improve our creativity, improve our network, of course. That's also very important. And it's just the whole package that Draper is offering to our artists. Step up the creativity and get the art out there. Because Draper has the connections, the network, and we're just very, very fortunate that they are interested in highlighting us. So it's really great.
Yeah. Thank you for having us here in paper. First of all, there are many artist residencies here in the Philippines, but they only focus on traditional paintings, traditional art forms. This is the first residency program for digital artists that are exploring the Web3s. And yeah, we're expecting to have more conversation. How can Web3 create a revolutionary uh, aspect of art? And yeah, and thank you for starting this and championing the artists because uh late early days of crypto artists and NFTs, there are only few artists. And right now, there aside from artists, there are NFT projects that have their own marketing. And then suddenly, the one-of-one artists, the artists who are creating something for culture are being drowned by the noise. Nobody's they because the only utility that we have is us. That's what we have. And there are only few people who are creative, of course, BitPinas for giving us voice to explore this type of creativity. It feels like during the turn of the century of modern era, from classical to modern. And right now we are transitioning to another era, which is the web. And this will really help us to have this conversation how are we going to envision the future? And I think the community will really help us to propel where we want to go. And that's thank you so much.
I want to add something. I think it's also a good because here in the Philippines, there's always been a bias or there's always been a stigma that if you are an artist, you're not gonna make it. You know, the money is in nursing, the money is in being a doctor, you know. But Web3 is enabling all of these artists to you know make it. So we're gonna make it, you know, and that is what the culture of Web3 is encouraging us, you know, to do. And it's just so great that, you know, we have that support from Jaber, we have the support from BitPinas, all of the Filipino community, crypto art communities around has been such a detrimental support to all of us. So, yes, I think that's all I want to say.
Yeah, so true.
So thank you so much for the answers. You know what I also really like about NFTs is before NFTs, I only know one Luna or Solo. I really don't know this part of of Philippine history and just someone who really loves reading history books. So and yeah, and it opens up opportunity as you mentioned to artists. So it opens how what I mean by that is that NFTs allows artists to have access to a market that otherwise doesn't have access to before. So I wouldn't know you guys, I wouldn't know all the artists without NFT. So that's what I really like about this NFT about the Web3. Now going to Web3. So in the slide earlier of the artist website, I saw this thing about Meta Manila and I want to know from you guys. So the metaverse and what do you envision to this thing that is being advocated, the Meta Manila? What is Meta Manila for the artist?
Meta Manila. It's bringing the connection with the masses. For the masses to have transact payments with their own banking system. We learn how to manage our own finances, and yeah, that will really help us. And of course, uh, in the transition of new era in art, we get to explore a different reality, a transcendent reality for humanity. So yeah.
Right after. Well, for me, I would say mathematical would be like connecting each and every one of our population, of the Manila population to the metaverse in whatever way possible. You know, whether be it start to educate them in how to, you know, start their journey in Web3 or having the connections, the network already to propagate their Web3 projects or, you know, or the business plans, whatever that is. And that's just really just that bridging Web2 Manila, Web3 Manila, essentially.
I think should be the first community that connected the people that don't have any knowledge about it.
Yeah, from our perspective, when we, as Repertoire Houses, we want to be decentralized, we want to be freedom, like application freedom. So that's what we envision for the things. It's already happening, but it's leading the way in our Web3 spaces. So it's a democratization of like decentralization. That's a great vision for the Manila and the Philippines. More ownership, like people collectively working in very different projects. You don't have one job, maybe you have 10 jobs, you jump around different things, different DAOs, different projects, collaborative, and everybody owns a piece of all these information. That's what we want to create. Definitely, and in a sense, like in this space from the off-chain perspective as well. When I have like people that they feel like, oh, this is my space, that's my corner. So every time people come and see it, like say like, oh, that's and that's Likha, that's Frens, Filipinas NFT, your job at crypto RTH. That's how we're gonna create the kind of sense of ownership that we have online, on chain, and also bring it off chain. Like I don't let any projects like that. And, um, that's what we mission, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, this is so interesting and so exciting. Like the concept of that one unified metaverse city, metaverse Manila. And even when you say metaverse, we're here already. We're gonna be in the metaverse next 5 years. And when people think of metaverse, people think of like a virtual land or like I fully graphics, not really clear one. But when in reality, metaverse is actually that point in time when your digital self is actually as important, if not more important than your physical self. And I believe we're in that phase already, especially now that technically like a Twitter is our own is a different is our own metaverse. Discord is our own metaverse. When we're there, we're immersed in that reality, right? And I think the promise of having that one meta Manila where all of the different projects, like what you said, have your own course. I think that's so exciting and beautiful because um and especially in the space right now, we're all here and we have something to contribute. And it's not for us to compete or for us to live, go against each other, but actually to build that uh, one big promise land of that metaverse. Exciting and so beautiful.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your answers. I have one final question to Christian, and then one final question to our artists. Then we can open out uh, to the audience for if you have some questions. And I hope you are finding this particular panel interesting because they really do. So I guess for I guess for Christian, we are in this Web3 space, and how in connection to Meta Manila, to Meta Philippines, how do you think, like in the next 3 years or 5 years, I don't know, up to you, how do you think Web3 will change, in particular this city, and then if you want the entire country also?
So I think that there's already great innovations here in the Philippines. I think there's the inspiration for very, very good companies, and we're actually gonna see some of them as well. That if we all heard of other like is it YTD, what they have done and how they have disrupted that space, and like I think we might see the same with some of the NFTs, with what managing is doing, or simply like BreederDAO, some other amazing companies that we'll see. So I think that in the Philippines, we're going to be leading different niches. And, I think it's the attention from overseas and the Philippines. I see this daily because we get asked all the questions about like, hey, like what's going on in the Philippines, like foreign projects that want to come and settle here. Because in a sense, so far, like it's sort of like the capital in a lot of the projects that are happening. Of course, the capital it's more in other spaces, but with Web3 capital moves a lot more fluidly, like you can actually ship all these projects and you have very easy connections with anywhere in around the world. But that was not before like for us startups. When we were startups, like funding was something that was a challenge. Therefore, we have funds, we have all the investors in our network. But now it's been more democratized, it's more decentralized. So I see Philippines leading the space, and I see more people coming to the Philippines to learn about this. Last year, I actually went to El Salvador to a famous Bitcoin beach, and I actually found out that I actually learned more from the Philippines. Like I want to learn like the adoption and how people use it in El Salvador, and actually thought the Philippines is more advanced in way of the adoption in way that they have been. using it and how they have more wallets, how they're more used to this thing, how they're more frequent. So that was very interesting because then, my expectations was like I'm gonna go learn from El Salvador and things to the Philippines, but not to the way there. Philippines have more idea, more innovation. Like it actually was awesome. Then I was struggling and bringing some of these entrepreneurs to establish their businesses abroad. That has changed.
Thank you so much, Mitch. And I actually have some thoughts on like the El Salvador thing. We can chat later. Um, but yeah, also looking for. I hope the audience looks forward later for the Web3 pages after the break. So my final question to our parties. What what are your plans in the future as an artist in this space and also in your career at this point? So maybe we can start with
Okay, future plans. Yeah, I guess like future plans, and for all the other artists listening na lang din, I guess just don't get disheartened because of the current state of the market. Like, we know that like everything's down right now, but we knew that from the beginning. And then until the all markets, like they're up days or down days. I guess at this point, like just just believe in why you started in this space in the first place. And just keep doing what you're doing, improving the craft. Um yeah, and just keep doing great. And I think that's what's good about art, especially for all the great artists here. Yes, of course, economy is very important and that keeps the going, like keep it going, like bread and butter. But then just knowing that there's a space like NFT that never existed like 5 years ago is just amazing. It's crazy. And even so, it's down now, but like this was a phase 5 years ago, and now that we're here, it's time to experiment, so to say. Be meaningful.
maybe the future something I to create more art and anything will start. As of now, I'm currently exploring the AR generative art and I will try I try to convert my original style to AI art and the digital art and things like that. Continuous improving and consistently uh, do what I love and connect with the people. That's what the biggest thing. And
I think for Filipinas NFT will continue to be a platform to onboard Filipino creatives into the Web2 space, give them the support that they need, education, to venture out into a Web3 career. I think it really more of giving highlighting women in the space would be, of course, our number one priority. And also them, highlighting women in the space, onboard them into Web3. And of course, collaborate with all of the other projects in the Philippines, and hopefully we'll be able to venture out internationally at some point. So we'll be able to champion our service in a wider audience then. Yeah.
So yeah, I would I would like to share my future dream. My dream is for the Philippine culture to be recorded and championed in a Web3. For so many years, Filipinos has been neglected sites-wide. If you were looking for Asian art, Filipino art is not even part of the conversation. And right now, what I would like to dream for my fellow countrymen, that they would champion their culture, that they would champion their national identity, and yeah, that's my future dream. And for us to explore it with the Web3, and if there will be people who will uh, ride with us, take the journey through this amazing Web3. That will be nice. That's my dream, not for me, but for my people.
Thank you so much for your passion. Yeah. So, now anyone we have time for these two questions. I guess, so anyone we would like to ask our artists and this guy. Yep.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions for the artists or Christian, feel free to ask them now. Any question?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have a question, like a dumb question? When you guys list your NFTs to any NFT marketplace, how do you guys want it to be paid? Is it in crypto coin or stable coin or both?
There are processes. First, of course, we wanted to be paid in crypto. But there are times that artists look for another way. There are artists who use Gcash and they will send the NFTs to the wallet of the collector. So we artists would like to find ways to distribute our work. So it doesn't matter where, as long as we get to have a conversation through money.
Some gigas maybe like um, because all are also venturing into the crypto space already. So I think that will make it a little more easier for our artists, so, especially those who especially those who minted their art for the first time. Of course, they wouldn't really know how to manage, manage their crypto or their stable coin. Um, so yeah, hopefully we're fine with both, I guess. But of course, better if the Filipino platforms, yeah, platforms are available already for them to use. Because of course they already know how to use that. So they're just really incorporating the crypto side of it, which will be easier for them to cash out their money and strictly invest from their crypto earnings. So there. I think that's super important thing about that. Your artist, how would you like to be paid?
Well, I think I would like to be faithful. It's not like a good thing.
Good question. Come on, guys. Anything else you guys wanna learn or ask? Anything about journey of the artist?
Hello. Hello. Okay. So I have a question. The artists that I'm very connected with are also digital artists, but they are hesitant of doing NFTs. But that's not really the case for this question. So I want to ask because what they usually do is they sell prints, stickers, etc. through conventions or art markets like Comic Con, Sticker Con, etc. etc. Do you think that it is also possible to sell on maybe an event dedicated to NFT editions, not one of ones, because I think one of ones are for galleries and for art shows. But do you think that NFT editions could be like have its own event, just like comic and sticker con?
So the answer is yes. And actually, yung mga conventions na for you. And they're international conventions. So, with that, so last month in June, so there's like NFT and NYC. That's the biggest of this NFT convention. So there's so the thing's the same actually. Like if you can think of a way where you can sell your piece that's practically the same. Actually, not bad enough is the format. But technically kung gusto mo nga iloko mo yung NFTs mo eh. I think there's a what happened in NFT technology. There's a guy who was like definitely
selling it at the street, like buying NFTs, buying NFTs. It might be fair for stupid, but it worked, right? So
I think we're starting, conventions here are already starting to recognize how valuable Web3 is. So like for example, last weekend we had Likha and Filipinas NFT were invited to do a digital art gallery in Conquest Festival. So Conquest Festival is a really big gaming, very Web3 centered gaming festival. But they were very interested with incorporating Web3 in it because, of course, play to earn, all of those other things. We were given an opportunity to showcase our artists' work through a digital display where we place their artwork, we place their QR code direct in the marketplace. So I think it's in the works. Hopefully, maybe we can host something like that here in Draper in you know, maybe like an NFT convention, hello, art festival or something. But yeah, I think we're already starting that. The Philippines is already beginning to realize the potential of that in really big pop culture conventions as well. So yeah.
I think it's already happening on Tezos. There is an object for object event where it's really easy to trade NFTs because Tezos is really cheap and efficient when it comes to trading. So basically, we create hundreds of editions for and just trade with one another, and that could be translated in a physical. It would be nice if there will be a location for have that object for object event and maybe invite other teams also to promote that type of because since of that type of transaction is really hard on other chains because of the gas fees and stuff. So and yeah, I think that's amazing. If we can have because if we can translate that into an IR element.
Thank you. Good job, Ms. G. In terms of education, how would you strategize teaching outside of developers, artists, or aspiring artists uh, to make their first NFT? Or like, how would you decide? How would you strategize? Or about the topics that you would discuss with them? Well, we're planning to build right, and connect to actually our fellow Filipinos and to champion, like you always say. And I'm really honored now. Okay, thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, one of the first that I always ask for artists is I always ask for their portfolio. Because if you have a content, no matter what technology is out there, it can always be utilized. What you need to establish first is who you are, your identity as an artist, and where you and starting is it's kind of there's so many ways to start. So you can do it in a simple way or in a deep dive. So yeah, portfolio first.
Well, in terms of Filipinas FB, of course, right now, we're still building our community. So, we're very open to mentorship in terms of, our hesitant artists really still don't know how to make it out there. So we have channels wherein they can ask questions for now, but we do really want to build an actual platform for education as well. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to other educational website platforms already para collaboration na lang and, not something that will build to compete with them, but to have that collaboration and make it just like a one big happy family uh thing. So there.
Maybe via social media like Facebook and or anything. maybe dapat lang maging mas engage ka sa Twitter and also sa Discord. Does anyone the people who will ask about NFT, you should entertain them and maybe my case as an artist, uh, stranger always ask me about how I go do that, how I start. I think that's one way of getting the other and helping them to onboard again.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, I think we'll open to, sorry, we'll have to open to one last question. And then, but we'll have an opportunity to talk to the artists later. We'll be having an intermission on this. But I'll hand over the mic to the last one for the last question.
Hello, GM at night. So, the question is, the word community and charity is often used in this space. So, as an artist, what are your key points for your fellow artists to raise self-awareness, not to be part of these platforms and projects using those words, communities and charities, those pleasing words, but never deliver anything?
Thank you for the wonderful question. I think first, ladies first.
Oh, you know what we would what we would always say to our artists is that they have to know their worth as an artist. It's so easy for us to be exploited here in the Philippines. If you don't know, like in yourself, that oh, I know my artwork's quality is worth this much. It's not make barat. How do you say that in English? I like not to low ball it just because so I can just sell my art in finance. So yeah, I think it's super important to know to be confident about your artwork's quality, and when you're confident about your quality of art, your supporters will not hesitate to, support you. And I think it's also very important that you are surrounded by people who encourage you to know your worth and not just say, oh yeah, just sell it. So it's easy money. It's, money will come very quick and whatever. Because, the people in the space here, if they really are your supporters, your fans, they will push you to uh, be the best artist that you can be. So there.
So for the question, yeah, I think one of the things that I learned in the NFT and crypto, never trust and always verify. Verify every information that you will receive, verify the organizations that will receive the transaction. If they are real, of course. I've seen so many projects, artists who are using this point words, community and charity, just to sell their NFTs. But when you check the transaction, because right now in Web3, you can check the transaction if the money is going really to the beneficiaries. Um, and there are already, for example, the apps, they are giving uh, a chance for charities to really have the right. So there are ways right now to verify the transactions. So yeah, and of course, always verify the artist first if that really is the artist. Or, yeah, verification is will help along with.
Verify the artist by checking their FB profile. That's it.
All right.
All right. So that was a really interesting segment. If you guys have any questions and you didn't get to ask them, we will be having an intermission now. So again, let's give a round of applause for our artists. Okay. Hold on, may I take a picture?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sorry guys. Ah,
Okay, so while you're taking your pictures, we'll be having a 30-minute intermission. Feel free to indulge yourselves with beer, soda, water, coffee or cafe. So yeah, see you in a bit.
Yung ilaw daw.
Goodbye. Next, we have one volume.
Thank you very much, guys. Then, thank you guys. Enjoy your things. You might want to give a big time without hours. That's just extra good. So, we love it.
Hey guys, so we're gonna be starting in 3 minutes for our next segment. Please settle down now. Thank you. So we'll be starting in 1 minute, so if everyone could settle down. There are a lot of chairs still here, so please occupy them. Um, yeah, let's try not to obstruct this area, mainly because we're like people trying to watch from behind. Yeah, so there's still a lot of chairs in there. All right. We're gonna start now. We're gonna head out to my favorite part of the night, which is the Web3 startup pitches. We have exciting companies in store for you, so grab a seat, drink your beer, and let's listen to the pitches. First up is Gian Ferrer. He is the community manager of Bezos. All right. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone.
Hello, my class. Okay, so I'm already drunk, so I hope this goes well. Okay, so I want to start off the presentation with some audience participation. So if I ask what chain, you say Tezos. So again, what chain? Tezos. Okay, I want some audience retention, participation to happen. So I hope it works. So let's practice again. What chain? What chain? Now a little louder. What chain? Okay, nice. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for participating in this. I'll be asking the same thing throughout the whole presentation, just so you know I can check who's listening. But yeah, so I'm Gian, I'm from Tezos, Philippines, and so you might be asking, is this related to the Philippine peso? No, it's not. Is it related to Amazon or Jeffrey Bezos? No, it's also not related to Jeffrey Bezos. So Bezos is another network, just like Ethereum and Bitcoin, Polygon, etc., etc. So Bezos has lands. There is now 2.9 million Bezos wallets worldwide, and this is as of July 2022, if I'm not mistaken. And 35,000 new wallets are being made, were made in the last 30 days. 10 plus upgrades in the last 3 years. The most recent one is Jakarta. So I think we all know that blockchain networks always have upgrades every now and then. So we've had more than 10 upgrades past 3 years. And yeah, so more stats right over there. 40 times growth in tap usage in 2021. Who would have thought? Okay, next slide. Yeah. So here's the thing. What's Bezos like energy consumption? Everyone is talking about how NFTs consume so much energy, blah blah blah. But here's the thing. This isn't the case that much for Bezos. So for example, if you compare it to like Ethereum consumes 26 terawatts per hour yearly, as in we're talking about the whole network. While in Bezos, we're only talking about 0.001 terawatts per hour, which is like the average energy footprint of 70 global citizens. So it doesn't consume way more energy compared to other cryptocurrency networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So yeah, it consumes less energy, and that's because it is a liquid proof of stake network. So it validates information in a more energy efficient way and not energy consuming way. So it avoids environmentally wasteful proof of work. So the proof of work networks consumes way more energy compared to the proof of stake networks. So if it's proof of stake, you know it's going to consume less energy. Just like what chain? What chain? Nice. I love it. You're all listening. Y'all can tell I'm drunk now. So, other than being energy efficient, it's also upgradable and very secure because of the smart contract security and formal verification. It uses a language called Michelson, which formally verifies, you know, which is a formally verified language which can minimize the probability of errors as formal correctness can be proven. Yeah, up next. So a little bit about Bezos. So quick overview about the ecosystem. There's NFT marketplaces, just like other networks. So examples are Thea, Object, FX Hash. Thea is like the most known or most commonly used. Object is where artists can make their own smart contracts. FX Hash if you want to make generative art. And then we also have DeFi protocols, just like other networks. So there's plenty, QuickSwap and Use, and gaming. Other gaming platforms and games are also using Peso so that they can implement NFT assets. So yeah, partnerships. So most known is Ubisoft. So they are trying to make in-game assets as NFTs so that it's more decentralized and that their players can do whatever they want with their in-game assets. There's also Red Bull Racing, McLaren, Manchester United, who are working on fan experiences. So for example, with McLaren, what they're doing is they sold NFTs that if you collect all of them, you can actually get a chance to win a trip to a Formula One race, a VIP experience. So who doesn't want that, right? And it's all happening in what chain? What chain again? Nice. Love that. Okay, so how can we help? So if you ever you want to build up Bezos, we can help out here at Bezos Philippines with the help of APAC, PCP Pack, our Big Daddy. So we have funding grants. So if your startup wants to integrate with Bezos, we can help get you funds up to 10,000 US dollars. Developer resources. So if you want help when it comes to developing, so if you have developers but they don't know how to code in terms of Bezos or whatever blockchain, because they don't have experience yet, we're here to help. And then mentorship. So if you want your products to be reviewed, tokenomics, how can your business pivot to Web3? We are here to help as well. And promotion. So you can spread the word around APAC, but that doesn't actually stop at APAC. So we have networks around the globe. So we are here to help out. So recent work. So I think just last month, Art Basel, Art Basel, I don't know how to pronounce it, in Hong Kong happened, and we brought our local artist, Bjorn Calleja, which is the topmost picture. So he's featured on Art Basel HK, Hong Kong. Who would have thought a Filipino artist will reach in Art Basel, which is a very known art event, which also has events like in Miami. And then recently, we also, back in April, we did an event at Mint and Greet. We supported an event called Mint and Greet here at Draper House as well. So this is my second time standing on this stage. So I shared about the Bezos ecosystem more in depth. And then we also gave away free tests so that artists can, onboard themselves, make their first NFT. So if you're an artist who wants to get your first NFT, or knows a group of artists that wants to try out the space, you can reach out to us and we'll show you how to mint an NFT on Bezos, make your first crypto wallet, and yeah, we'll take care of you. And then also in Art Fair Philippines, back in March, we featured artists doing NFTs and not just collectibles. And we have many more partnerships on the way. And yeah, that's pretty much my presentation for what chain? What chain? And yeah, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook. We also have a group at Tezos Philippines, at Tezos THL, because TH is taken. Common social media problems. But yeah, I've been Gian from What Chain? Thank you so much.
All right. So, do you guys have any questions? Any questions? I want to win that F1 race, man. Ferrari. All right. Any questions from the crowd? Any questions? Ah, there you go.
I guess the question is what chain?
Paano siya naging mas matipid sa... Paano siya naging mas matipid sa... consumption of the energy?
Yeah.
What kind of energy are you using?
So, yung TWH is just terawatts. Okay, so I guess if we can go back to that slide, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so terawatts is just like, you know how in our storage it's mega, giga, kilo. So I think tera is like 1,000 watts. So that's pretty much what terawatts is. So parang mega, giga, tera. Right lang siya.
So, since you guys are already doing it, why is it Ethereum or Bitcoin doing it as well?
Oh,
So,
so
it's
yeah,
for the environment, right?
yeah. So actually, I think I heard that Ethereum is doing it now, like they're transitioning to a proof of stake. But we're already doing it, so why not do it on Bezos? Right, right.
All right. Any more questions? Anyone? All right. Hold on. Let me just walk there, my man. Hey, Yuki. Say.
Actually, I'm not from UK. I'm sorry for that.
It's
a really good shirt. Like previously, we were from China. I'm from a group. You know Jack Ma, right?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, so I'm adults, which is because these are from United States, right? I'm from there. And then the first question is that regional headquarters. Regional headquarters in Singapore here. And the second question is what's their future vision of the Philippines in your future strategy with the vision?
Future vision for the Philippines.
For example, if I'm just nobody, I'm just walking on the street and not familiar with MC or this kind of music. Hear me, this kind of grammar language. What you are doing and you can bring us to our society and our life.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much for that question. So right now, what's interesting is that Filipino artists tend to use proof of stake networks just like Bezos when, for example, for minting NFTs because it's very cost it costs low. Like maybe most likely you're going to spend like 1 peso just to mint an NFT or to at least send an NFT. So because every transaction in blockchain costs money, so it's very cheap to use. So it's very accessible for the community. So yeah, it's really more of like building more dApps that people can use, or for sure, onboarding more people. And I think we're kind of starting first right now with like onboarding artists because they're more familiar with NFTs, and then we also want to onboard developers so that they can build their own apps as well. So right now, short term, most likely we'll be doing more actions towards those so that we can furthermore encourage the usage of pesos in the Philippines because it's so cheap, then why not use it? Yes. Do you all have any more questions? Please make me not ask what chain again.
It's no question, but really, we really wish to have a book in Alibaba voice.
Oh,
If it's available.
sure thing. Wow. Y'all, somebody asked me out on a networking, in a networking point of view. But yeah, thank you so much for the question.
All right, so that's it. Thank you, Gian.
Thank
Give
you
a
so
round of
much.
applause, everyone. What chain? There you go. Okay, that was really, really, really exciting. All right, that was really fun. So, next one. I would like to call on Ismail Jerusalem, CEO and founder of Only. Pretty cool, man. Look at that.
Hello. Hello, GM at night. So, yun, I'm Ismael Jerusalem. I'm the CEO and founder of Only. So, next slide, please. So, thank you, Tripper, for inviting us to pitch. So, Only is an innovative art and gaming NFT platform. So, to help me explain what we are doing, next slide, please. So, I want to share a quote by Theodore Adorno. So, the task of art is to bring chaos into order. So, just like art, next please. Just like art, I mean, just like what NFT did, there is so very chaotic environment in the Web3 space. For example, your Web3, there is such thing as Gatsby, marketplace, marketing, blockchain, smart contract, and utility. So as an artist, it is very chaotic out there if you will find yourself going out on your own on this NFT journey. Next, please. So to sum it up, so we're providing the solution to those kinds of problems. So we're equipping artists the tools needed for them on their NFT journey. So next please. So before I tell how we're doing it, so I'd like to share you a short story. There is an aspiring artist looking for opportunities to learn more about arts and showcase his skill as an aspiring artist. Well, that artist came from a province, and obviously in the province there were lack of opportunities, especially for aspiring artists. So next, please. So yeah, instead of waiting for things to happen, for opportunities to come, so that aspiring artist made those things happen. So that aspiring artist hosted events such as art fairs, exhibits, seminars and workshops, invited speakers from Manila going to the province. So that aspiring artist is me. So I was the artist. And next please. So yeah, through that lack of opportunity, that aspiring artist created opportunities for other creators to continuously do things they love to do, which is creating art, and at the same time earn from it. And next, please. And then I have learned that I'm not the only artist having that kind of experience. So there are tons, thousands, hundreds and thousands and millions of artists out there around the globe who's also experiencing the same problem. So next. So yeah, so I am thinking how, so the solution I've created, open opportunities for artists. So I'm thinking, how can I do and implement those solutions at scale? So I've seen blockchain. So implementing art on the blockchain. So as mentioned earlier, it is very chaotic out there when it comes to NFT space. So next, please. So yeah, so as an artist, being a marketer, marketing your own collection is very hard. Next, please. Uh, Let's yeah. And as community. So as an artist, if you're gonna create your own project, your NFT collections, you have to build community. And as an artist, it is really difficult to build community, replying to all to your fans, replying to those people who's into your art. It's really difficult. Next, please. And this is very crucial. As an artist, learning how to code is really difficult. So implementing utilities into your art, it is something that an artist really, that most of the artists really don't want to do. Because what we want to do is to continuously do creating art. So next. So yeah, so as mentioned earlier, only provide solution to those problems. So as a platform, we equip those artists, those set of skills needed for them to be able to equip to their NFT journey. So next. So yeah, so there are other artists from other company and artists from only you know what happened. The next. So yeah, so let me present to you our marketplace. So it's a one-of-one non-generative art collections. So most of the marketplaces out there are all generative arts, almost all of them. And it's really hard, as mentioned earlier, for an artist to thrive in any marketplace where there are lots of noise and other collections out there, not giving any spotlight to one-of-one artists. So here is only that market. So yeah, a closer look. So this is it. You can mint and launch your NFT collection the easy way. The next, please. So we empower artists to build their own unique and exclusive digital assets using our platform. For example, these artists right here, we've created NFT collections, one-of-ones art collections. They are artists using NFT as a tool, as a medium. They are not NFT artists. They are artists that there is an opportunity for them to be more creative using NFTs. So next please. So yeah, so imagine you're an artist being equipped with those set of skills needed to thrive in this NFT journey. So an artist, for those who really don't have those set of skills, look at that. So next please. So yeah, so let me share to you, to walk through you guys the platform. Let me share to you a story of one of our artists. His name is Dan. So next please. He is the creator of the mustachios. He's the original artist of that. So the mustachios, this is his original character. He created it, I think, way back during the pandemic 2020 as one of his own creation, his own original characters. The next, please. Then we met Dan. Then we saw an opportunity that your art can make more art. We can be more innovative. We can be more creative through those art. So from his 2D hand-drawn, intricately hand-drawn digital artwork, we created a 3D version of it. So next, please. So imagine bringing your 2D arts into life. So this is leaning towards the quote-unquote metaverse where you can immerse into the digital world through those 3D characters. So next, please. So yeah, to show you to for you to give more idea about this collection. Imagine a 2D art turning into 3D, and not just in 3D, but creating games out of your own creation. So as an artist, having your 2D art as a flat digital art being innovative through these 3D arts. So you're creating your own kind of metaverse. It's a 3D open world where you can explore, quest, dungeons, and at the same time, probably earn while playing the game. Yeah, so the game would not be that so fun if there were no monsters and antagonists in the story. So that's Mustachio Quest. For Mustachio, the 2D character, creating a game is called the Mustachio Quest. So next please. Next please. Next slide. Yeah, so every mustachio, we created a story of each mustachio from the Genesis set. So there is a story behind each mustache. So look at the cover of the art. Imagine you're an artist and it really needs a great break for you to have your own characters, written your own story as a lore of the game. So next please. And yeah, as mentioned earlier, we have created a 3D open world called the Mustachio Quest where you can roam around in a metaverse, the metaverse-ish feel kind of world. The next please. And where you can equip your mustachios, the weapons needed for you to, next please. Yeah, for you to discover treasures and find rewards and loot inside the game. And yeah, and aside from that, probably, we also created, so from a marketplace, so inside the game, we also created a 3D virtual art where you can see different, this is the actual game, where you can see each NFT collections we've launched in our platform in a 3D, more immersive experience where you can play as your mustachio. So this is the interoperability of NFTs, where an NFT collection from marketplace can be used to other platforms such as games. So these art were created by Lay Menendez. If you know Lay Menendez, is one of the top Filipino illustrator in the Philippines. So these are live products. So if you have the mustachios, you can enter the world of the mustachiverse. These are not just promised products that we would create. These are live, deployed, and real products, NFTs with real utility. I think you can actually. Yeah, so that's the mustache. And so the character you have seen is Candy Floss, and one of the holders are using that character, that NFT, as a virtual influencer. So there are lots of opportunities being created in the Web3 space through arts. So from the 2D art, we created a 3D art for them to be able to create content on social medias. So next, please. Yeah, and it's not just those games and 3D arts. We also have this augmented reality NFTs as one of the earliest NFTs here in the Philippines who created AR feature for their NFTs. So it is live and working on the Instagram filter for so that people and users were able to use it easily. So it's only on your Instagram, you just search for the mustachios filter and you can use these mustachio characters. Yeah, so those are the mustachios. So we created the Genesis set, it's called the Pathfinders. Then the next set of mustachios were called the Marauders. And this is the upcoming next set of the mustachios where we call them the Rascals. So this is the 3D generative art collection. So we wanted to raise the bar of creating a generative art collections. So it's 3D, where the games are already present, is already live. It is not something that we promise to create if we have reached a certain percentage of sales, just like any other projects. So the game is already live. So we wanted to make the Mustachio Rascals available with a low barrier to entry for the Filipino masses to enter the metaverse. So I guess it will be just less than $20 each. So imagine those utilities earning your NFT, being part of this revolutionary technology which is NFT, and holding this NFTs with real world utilities being deployed. So next, please. So yeah, so to summarize it all, only we empower artists not to be be this website utility roadmap to be not be part of the problems they have to take. So we empower them to just to focus on creating to the things that they love to do, just creating art. And next, please. So yeah, so this is the feedback of that. So that's it. I'm getting paid for doing what I love, which is creating art, without thinking about where to find my next commission so I could pay my bills. And they're also developing a game based on my character, and the progress is really promising. So as an artist, imagine there is an opportunity for me to execute those things with the help of technology without me thinking to learn how to code, for me to learn how to market, for me to learn how to manage community. Because for an artist who wants to create art, it is really difficult for us to do those things simultaneously. So next. So yeah, so in general, our goal is to help artists build communities around their work by giving them control over their creations while still enabling transactions between fans and collectors through our marketplace. So next. So yeah, so this is the intersection of game and art through NFTs. And we've been exploring it since 2018 and continuously developing and delivering up until now. So next. Yeah, so a closer look for the collectors and the fans who will be visiting the platform. So this is the marketplace, only the market. The next, so if you're a fan, if our marketplace is integrated to three wallets, you can use either MetaMask, Trust Wallet, or Wallet Connect. Just have to connect your wallet on the platform, so it's so easy. So next, please. And you just have to purchase any NFT of your choice. So yeah, so you have to submit and you will see the NFTs that you want. So next please. Yeah, if also you wanted to sell your NFTs, it's also possible on the platform. So you just have to sell it and just sign in the transaction and just set the price you wanted to sell. So next please, yeah, and you will see the NFTs that you've all listed and also the utilities included to those NFTs. For example, this mustachio has the 2D art, the 3D versions of it, the game, the augmented reality, a land sale discount, and it's integrated with own tokens. So next please. So yeah, so in next year, so if you're gonna visit our site right now, it's only the market. You are able to claim this NFT where you can you will be entitled 10% discount for every NFTs that you will purchase using own tokens. So yeah, so next please. So yeah, so as mentioned earlier, David Andres is also one of our artists. So this is also his testimony. Saying only helping in a very big way is a huge understatement. So next, please. Imagine that art, we created an NFT and an upcoming 3D versions of it where we can use it interoperable to our different functions. So yeah, so speaking to the team behind Only, so yeah, I'm the CEO and founder of Only. So I co-founded Only together with Rico Zuniga. Rico Zuniga is one of the pioneers of tech startup industry here in the Philippines and is also the CTO of Sparkcoin, and Sparkcoin is also one of the pioneer blockchain companies here in the Philippines. He also got two startup exits already and is continuously working with us together with Only. And our CTO, Bernard, so we've been coding and pushing lines of codes for almost a decade together. So delivering products in tech is something that we are technically capable of. And together with our CMO and our creative advisor was also um, reasonable experience when it comes to marketing and creative industry. The next, please. And yeah, and we're also the same team behind Crypto Solitaire. So Crypto Solitaire is one of the earliest version of blockchain gaming here in the Philippines. So we placed 13 out of 100 plus global entries during that time. And that is an indication that we're also globally competitive. And we already have set the foundations in Only. We have our own token. So we started it as a market cap token as a commitment for us to continuously build for years And you have the marketplace, you have full of creatives and existing basket portfolio of artists, and an artist launchpad to onboard more artists into Web3. And yes, and we also have staking for the own token holders. So next, please. So the roadmap, so probably we've been building since 2019, and we have one eyeball of creating the next is creating our own chain which is focused for NFT and the metaverse by 2024. So next please. So yes, and we are aware of the competition. So these are our direct and indirect competitors. So in Web3, competitors are the unofficial extended research and development department of each companies. So we have Sunbox, Skymavis, and so you can see the differences. And the only main difference is we have a huge room for growth when it comes to market cap because we choose the low cap route of the our own token. So next please. And our competitive advantage we're here in the Philippines is cost efficient. It's the epicenter of later games and at the same time the social media capital of the world. And we have set the fundamentals. We have the marketplace, the community, the token, and an experienced team to deliver the targets. And yes, we are one of the pioneers on the industry. So next please. So yeah, and we haven't pushed so hard when it comes to marketing, and yet we got distractions. So we got 50,000 plus combined followers on IG, FB, and Twitter. 10,000 combined members on Telegram and Discord. We have thousands of subscribers in our newsletter. 1,000 holders of own token and 100 plus only NFT holders without any huge marketing push. So next please. Yeah, so our revenue model as a platform is so simple. We get 20% of share of the primary sales on every NFT collection and a 2% transaction fee on the marketplace. So for a gallery, it's the typical setup for galleries are 50-50. So in a marketplace such as only where we showcase art of the artist, it's 80-20, giving more favor to the artist. So next please. Yeah, so the market is huge. The gaming global market is valued of $100 billion. There are 3 billion active users worldwide and 1 in a million working artists globally. And by the end of 2021, the NFT art segment reached $41 billion. So next please. So when it came to financial, we have raised a total of 120K USD and at the same time launched those working live and products with just having this small amount of funding. So there is a team who is technically capable of delivering Web3 products and decentralized applications. We haven't sold any own tokens yet in our wallet since token generation event. The next, yeah, so thank you. We were looking for partners, funding, and grants and only to help us realize our vision in bringing valuable digital artworks to innovative applications of NFTs. So next. Yeah, so if you wanted to talk about it, this is me. You can connect me on social media. You can scan the QR code. And yes.
All right. Thank you, Ikaw. That was great. I really understood that because I speak my life in memes. So, we have time for one question. Does anyone have one question? All right, cool. I'm sorry. The double topic. Okay, here you go.
Hi, sir. So I'm also an artist, an NFT artist. And I really like the idea and concept behind Mela. So my question is, how do you guys think and envision how Web3 NFTs and metaverse be more accessible and be more interesting on a greater population in this local community, with reference to, of course, Meta.
Yeah, actually, I came from the province, so I can't speak on behalf of Manila. So if there are things that we can execute living on the province on the Web3, I think it's mostly probably Manila can do better than what are the things that we have already deployed. So I mean that's the expectation because we're in the province and the resources back there is not as much when it comes to Manila. So if these products, if these artists, we already help them and we're able to empower them through our platform in the province, outside Metro Manila, and executing similar thing here in Manila, I think it will be much more easier because there is a validation and a proof of concept that these are things that we already have done. So imagine pouring out resources to empower these kind of platforms, especially in Manila, where there are lots of opportunities for artists to be exposed in different kinds of collectors, even in a global scale. So I think that's the fundamental definition of Web3, that you can do stuff at scale. It doesn't care who you are, where you are, as long as you know how to do the tech. And you're an artist committed to do and continuously do your passion. You will have to find you're able to find your connectors in a global scale. So yeah, I think that really contributes when it comes to Meta Manila. We can be used as one of the reference that those stuff were able to execute. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Again. Yeah, up next is Felix Asuncion, co-founder of Meridian Technology and Tetrix Network. Amen.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. What's up, sirs? Yeah. So, all right. So, yeah. Before I start, just like to introduce myself. I'm Felix Asuncion, one of the co-founders of Meridian Technologies and the developer and creator of Titik, your wallet made digital in Web3. So I hope you're all excited to know about Titik. But before I start, I'd like to ask anyone here who have Web3 wallets? All right. Can I see the hands, please? All right. So most of us here, maybe 80% use Web3 wallets, right? But who among here uses the pizza? All right. Cool. So I started in the cryptocurrency way back 2017, and I encountered these problems. First problem is, next slide please, the user experience. Many of us would love to be part of Web3, but the problem is the user experience of each and every individual. Sometimes it's very daunting when they heard about cryptocurrency, and these are one of the reasons why people shy away from this kind of industry. Number two is the lost time of opportunity, because you have to set up each blockchain in some wallets. Some blockchains have different wallets as well, wherein you have to integrate all of these blockchains, right? And lastly, the limited functionality. Some wallets have only, you can only see your NFTs, you can only see your tokens, you can only see your DeFi. But imagine, we solve this problem with our solution. Next slide, please. We created Itaka. It's a unified solution wherein you can store your data, your NFTs, and your DeFi in one page, which you can set up easily, only under 1 minute. And lastly, it is very user-friendly. So currently, Itaka is available on a browser extension. But this is a cool and exciting part. We're gonna launch our mobile version anytime soon next month. So, next slide, please. But don't take our word for it, because our users give us different user feedback about this wallet, about this Web3 wallet. One of which is Pitaka Multi-chain wallet have its perks. It's easy to use and flexible. Digital nomads like us can enjoy and feel more secure with Pitaka. Imagine having an all-in-one wallet where you can see your digital assets. Great work. So we've received hundreds of users feedback from across the globe and with a 5-star review, which validates our product market fit. Next slide, please. Competitive advantage. Of course, there are competition in the space. But since we are in a web in which I believe Web3 should be collaborative, should be inclusive, we created these advantages. That's we are lower our fees. We have multi-sig function. And we integrated Pitaka to our two MVPs, the link and our lab. We also have IP pending and in-app integration of swaps and other partner apps. So when you use Pika app, it's seamlessly integrated with your hard wallet like Trezor and Ledger, and also connects to 25 blockchains. Next slide, please. Our key features. As I mentioned, we connected to major wallets such as Coinbase, MetaMask, and other hardware wallets. And we support 25 blockchain. And the good thing here is you can see all your DeFi's, your tokens, your NFTs in one page. Before, the problem is you have to set up, right? You have to set up each blockchain in every wallet. But here in Bitcoin, you just need to click which blockchain you are using. Next slide, please. Our unique value proposition. All of us here need wallet. And Web3 wallet is our passport to the ecosystem, right? Whichever play-to-earn games or NFT projects, we need wallet. And the key value proposition of Pizzaha is we built this wallet that is agnostic. So meaning it is built for us, each and every media should use. Next slide, please. The market size is very interesting to talk about because 2.5% of soft wallet users come from the Philippines, and it's growing daily, right? A lot of people are venturing or jumping into the space wherein 1 out of 10 owns crypto assets. That's around 300 million. Guys, currently we are on the early phase. 3% of the population is still an early adoption. Imagine if like 10% of the whole total population jump into Web3. So there's a lot and a huge opportunity for every one of us. And 3 out of 10 crypto owners have soft wallets. So next slide, please. Alright, so our business model is quite simple. We only have the subscription-based model, which we have the convenience fees for swaps. That's pretty much it. And we have the lower fees like 0.6% when you use this platform. So we also have integration fees and convenience fees for other affiliated VMs. So our goal in the next 3 years is to have at least a CAGR of 205%, which also verify key metrics because currently we have more than 2,885 users, and it's growing daily. Right? We just launched the version of the mobile, the browser version last May, and it grew so much. Q quarter, like 2,000% in our phase of launching. But our main goal here is to at least onboard the next million users, and also to have at least a daily active users of 100,000. And our truck should help us achieve those goals as well. We're actually published locally and globally in MetaTalks and other publishing companies, including the Manila Times, Yugatech, Milinar, and of course our very own BitPinas. These publications are not for us. This is for the whole community. This is for all the Web3 community, wherein we are targeting the next billion users for the whole ecosystem. If we continue to educate more people, more enterprises to venture in Web3, the more will move the market. We've reached, sorry. Alright, we've reached an impressions of 15 million in a span of 1 month alone. So, our executive team, we're very lucky that our executive team are very active, aggressive, young bloods as well, who are very futuristic in terms of the communities. So to start with, we have our CEO Emma Nabalan, Ralph Acabado, our COO and interim CIO. We also have our very own Attorney Shane Guerrero, which is our Chief Legal Officer, myself as a Chief Revenue Officer, Martin Adorable as our Chief Investment Officer, and Michael Pei as our Business Development Director. These 6 co-founders came from diverse set of industries where we were able to spearhead one common goal to build this community, the Web3. Together with us, we have Marvin Dermo as one of our directors, the CEO of Stock Smarts, RJ Ledesma, the CEO of Mercado Central, Paul Bajo, our CPA, Dr. Elena Bispin, our HR head and performance coach, and newly addition to our team, Mr. Albert An from Silicon Valley, now resides in Korea as our chief technical officer. And lastly, one of our advisors is Mr. Diwa Del Mundo from Upper Page. These people, this team, itong mga Pinoy po na to na nasa harapan po ninyo, will not just bring pitaka to the whole Philippines to the world. Imagine every one of us helping one another, building communities, not only here in the Philippines, but also in the different parts of the world. And it should start from here. Each project should support each other. That's Web3. That's our main goal. That's our vision, to help each other to thrive and survive during this crypto winter. But once we were able to survive this consolidation, all of us who build projects in this ecosystem will harvest things in the coming years. So these are executive teams who lay the foundation into Web3. And of course, as I mentioned, we're still early in adoption. And we are inviting everyone here who are listening to this pitch, to be part of this revolution. So our clients and partners have also expressed their support in terms of building the community. Tier 1 Entertainment, as one of our partners who are very strong in terms of their e-sport exposure. Tetrix. Tetrix is one of our is a company wherein we build our blockchain infrastructure. Tetrix is actually being registered in Dubai, which we traveled there last May, where we're also building community, not just in the Philippines, but also in the UAE. Because right now, Dubai is the crypto hub for every blockchain company. So Ancient, Barfan, Strike, Aegis One, Unswitch, Lazarus Guild, there are guilds here. We're open for partnerships as well. Bisquella as well, of course. PetMe. So PetMe is one of the largest pet business here in the Philippines. We're not only breeding users, we're also breeding pets to the ecosystem. Albang Upstate, Managing, and of course. So we've been robustly growing, and as we grow our user base, we're also growing our community. And right now, just last week, we just launched one of our MVP, which is our card Link. So Link is a unified card solution where you can store your data and you alone hold your data, and you have the power and control whom you share your data. So if I tap my link to your phone, Alright. So this time I share my data this person, in which I hold my data, right? And the first phase of this card is for the business cards. It's quite crazy when we got home from Dubai, isang box po yung nauwi namin na calling card. And it keeps on repeating. While we're doing here, some of us give card, right? But right now, we revolutionize the way we do networking. We revolutionize the way we share our business to different people. We revolutionize this product. And right now, we have 50% off until the end of this month. For those who are available and for those who are interested to buy one of our products as well, you can scan this link and sign up, and we'll assist you moving forward. So you can scan this code, and yeah, you can or just visit our Facebook page. And of course, before I share my last slide, I just would like to challenge each and everyone to participate in this revolution. This is one of the very important movement in our society, wherein we move the technology, we bring the technology to people. We will not wait for those people to come after us to explain what is this new and emerging technology. And with Web3 communities, we're talking about the blockchain communities, the NFTs, the metaverse, the AR, all of this will have time for us to adapt. The good thing here is we're not early. We're still in the early phase. And congratulations, you're one of those people who knew this technology was about to come. And when all of the people are adopting, you you are the one who's gonna originate what technology we bring to the people. And challenging everyone. Let's revolutionize the future. Thanks so much.
Right. I'm probably gonna need that card, man. I'm so done with like cards. Okay. Any questions for Pitaka? Any questions? Going once? Going twice? All right. Thank you. Thank you, Francis. Yeah. All right. Up next, I would like to call on Michael Molina. He is the Chief Tech Officer of Xircus.
Good evening, guys. By the way, do you know OpenSea? Who knows OpenSea? Can you raise your hands? Do you want to own the next OpenSea? Do you want to own the next OpenSea? That's a question. Do you want to have or to own the next OpenSea? Right? So basically, this is what we do. We help entrepreneurs build their NFT business through our no-code solution. And we actually build a platform where you can deploy your own NFT marketplace. So that this is the title, Xircus, start your NFT business today. Next slide. So here's the problem. Right now, I've been in the tech industry for 15 years now, and I've encountered a lot of clients, which basically looking for developers to build NFTs and NFT marketplaces. So, and usually it's very, very rare to find a Web3 developer, especially with full stack experience that has blockchain and application development experience. It's really hard. And sometimes if you find someone, the cost would be overwhelming for you, right? And this is, just stay with that. So it is expensive to build an NFT marketplace. Just think about infrastructure costs. Think about writing your smart contracts. Think about, how much would you spend for building the front-end interface of your marketplace. It's really costly. It's rare to find Web3 developers, and the estimates, just to give you an estimate, how much would it cost would probably around $50,000 to even a million, depending on the complexity of the marketplace that you're building. All right. Next slide, please. And this is where our ideas came out. So it's a no-code NFT marketplace deployer at almost zero cost. Why is it almost zero cost? Because you just need to make sure that you have enough native token in your wallet so that you can deploy this zero transaction fee transaction fund, right? So these are some of the products that we did. I just put in some icons of those here. Next slide, please. So here are the founders. So I am Michael Medina, I'm the Chief Technology Officer, and the tech team is actually here in Manila. And it's co-founded with me with Falco Panky, who's our CEO, whom I met 6 years ago when we were first building our first crypto company, ICO Picker. So it was a time when ICO was so hot, and we're building application, we're building pooling tools for people to be part of a crowdfunding, right? So it's been that long since I met this guy, and these guys is a solid marketing guy. Actually, tomorrow, by the weekends, he will be in NFT Expoverse in Los Angeles. He'll be speaking there. So, and he's going to talk about NFTs and what Xircus does. Well, and so this one is like a coincidence that I'm here right now, right? And this is our new guy, which is Eric Nagud, who is our CEO, one of the one who trusted us when we started to share about Xircus, the Xircus idea to a lot of people. So now we have him as a lead for our operations. So both of them are in Netherlands. I'm here in the Philippines. Right? Next, please. So this is how the product works, the platform works. So that is your application. So when you deploy a marketplace, it's not just a marketplace, it's a marketplace DApp. It's not just a marketplace DApp, it's a progressive DApp, which means that you start with a marketplace where you can actually list, buy and sell NFT items, but at the same time, you can inject modules to it so that you can integrate more functionalities. For example, you want to add staking to your marketplace. Can you do that? Yeah, by injecting modules. If you want to do like a launchpad, a crowdfunding for your NFTs, you can do that by injecting launchpad modules. So it's a progressive module. It grows with you. It grows with the marketplace that you build. So what we provide is now we created a dashboard where people could actually edit or customize the marketplace depending on how they want it. The thing about this is that the marketplace that you own is you are the one in control of the fees. You are the one in control of what? The listing fees and the transaction fees. And what we do is that we make sure that these listing fees and transaction fees are affordable and at the same time, something that is reasonable and fair for the users, for the future users. And then we build an SDK, which is you can what we want is to make the developers thrive in with the platform. They can actually build their own applications, build their own modules, inject that with the marketplace so that it will become better, right? So that's what you can see. What happens with Ethereum? Why Ethereum becomes so big? It's because there is a developer community that is working. There's a developer community that is working with it. And the developer community improves the way how the blockchain works. That blockchain works. So the same thing what we wanted to do with Xircus. That's why we have the SDKs. And we build the smart contracts. All right. So any type of smart contracts that you can actually think of, we created those. In terms of the marketplace, we built variants of marketplaces. So imagine right now, there could probably, you might probably heard about marketplaces that when you list an NFT or when you buy an NFT, you can actually reward. If you can receive rewards from it. Okay, so these are types of marketplace contracts that we have built, and this is something that you can actually deploy with the Xircus NFT. And these are on the bottom part. So those are the upcoming support those are the blockchains that we supported. So we started with the EVM blockchains. So what you can see, Binance Smart Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Phantom. Think about any EVM blockchain. And then we followed with the next generation blockchains, which are Flowneer, Aptos, Tezos. Those blockchains that allow smart contracts to be created. That's, we can actually build something. So these are the things. It's open the platforms, free deployment. It's centralized API. It's blockchain agnostic, so meaning we can actually integrate as many blockchains as possible. It's token currency agnostic, so you can actually build your marketplace with your own currency. You can use your own cryptocurrency to pay for NFT listings. Then it's DEX agnostics. It's a centralized exchange agnostic, which means that you can use any decentralized exchange. For example, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, if you haven't heard of those names. And it's collection agnostic. So if you already have collections from different NFT marketplaces, for example, OpenSea, other NFT marketplaces, you can use them. Next slide, please. And here are our supported niches. Okay, we do have like you can actually deploy marketplace for decentralized apps, e-commerce, art and fashion, music and short videos, metaverse probably, gaming and guilds, real estate, esport, adult and social and more. Next slide, please. So these are the sample schemes on the right side. So here are our products. So we have the studio, which is the deployer suite. We also have NFTs, which are the punks. That's for the avatar DAO that we have built. And then the skins, which are the schemes, the views in the UI templates that you can actually use from. And the modules, those are pluggable and solvable. So we converted those into NFTs so that people can actually buy and use it onto their marketplace. Next. So here's the piece of commission place. It's transparent. It doesn't have any hidden fees, and it's as low as $1 per listing. Configured by the remaster. The remaster is the one who deployed the marketplace, which is basically you. So 51% of the commission, the listing fees goes to the ringmaster. So once you deploy, 51% of the earning goes to you, 25% goes to Xircus, 15% goes to our provider, which is our graph provider. These are the API providers who's hosting the marketplace data. And then if you are into like talking about NFTs to other people and you want to earn, then we have 5% referral that you can earn from the marketplace, and then 4% rewards. Lastly, Xircus bumps. These are the Xircus bumps we have in the last slide. So here's a goal, personal goal that I have. We want to convert cheated mint points into utility coins, which they can actually use their token to spend in their own NFT marketplace, governed and curated by their community. Just think about it. How many communities are there that does have this shitcoin and mint coins that we're able to raise funds and we're able to build a product. Next slide, please. And if you want, you can actually follow our socials, Xircus NFT. You can check out our interaction we get. And thank you. And check out our website, Xircus.app.
Yeah! Good job, man. Okay, so unfortunately, we're running a bit late. So for the questions, we will have a networking opportunity after all the pitches, so you can ask them directly. Next up, I'd like to call on Frens, co-founder and CEO of BreederDAO.
Hi guys. Yeah, good evening. So everyone is already tired after all the presentations earlier, so I'll be quite short. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Likha now, but our origin started from our youth. It's Breeder plus DAO. Breeder, as you all know, and I'm sure you're all familiar with that activity, right? It's actually the concept of reproduction within the game. So you combine two assets to generate like an egg, add in like the necessary access and SLP, and then voila, like after 5 days you get the hatchet. So that's the model that we actually kind of specialize in, right? So we optimize for specific traits, and we kind of like look at what would be the game meta, right? And produce these products or these assets at scale in support of like the guilds. And the DAO, which is a decentralized organization, we wanted to give the power back to the community. Asset creation is very simple and very linear in like the games that are existent right now. But in the future, especially if we hand over these like assets back to the people, as we say, like for the gamers and by the gamers, then we would want to create a platform that would allow people to create and design their own assets and to be able to use them like within the metaverses. Next slide, please. And this vision was born out of, back in July or June 2021 when Axie Infinity experienced like a hyper stage, right? Left and right, I'm pretty sure like most of you guys all know that people within their community are all looking for scholarships, all looking for managers, all looking for guilds, right? And we were observing the marketplace, thinking about whether or not we also wanted to have our own guilds, right? At one point, all of us here were thinking to be guilds, thinking to be managers, buying our own asses, playing for ourselves, or even asking people to play. So when we looked at the marketplace, we saw the gap. We actually saw that assets were priced between $200 to $800 within a span of a week. That's a 400% growth, and that's just in one. So we immediately saw the opportunity and thought that maybe everyone's looking at it from the wrong side. People are too focused on like the demand side. Everyone wants to play, but if everyone wants to play, then we would experience what we would call a supply crunch. And just like any supply demand economy, it's very easy for us to only take a look at users and players, but not worry about like assets. And so being part of like a YGG ecosystem where we were quite close to it, we then realized that we want to capitalize on the other side of the function. And that's when we realized we want to specialize on asset creation. So we did an initial experiment, actually did 183 hours. In less than 3 months, we were able to generate $6 million in profits and close to 1.5 in profits. Well, revenue and in profits, sorry. And so yeah, that was actually the first. Um, Initially, as well, we thought that it was a one-off, that just like any other token or any other thing that you experience in crypto, where you experience a hypergrowth, 10x, 1000x, right? It's something that's not replicable and definitely not sustainable. But things change when you actually talk to YGG, Gabby Izon, especially. And he actually told us that, the single biggest pain point of a lot of guilds, and not just YGG, is a lack of quality asset in the market. And that hit us. If that's a problem that's experienced by one of the largest guilds and one of the pioneers in the industry, then it must be a problem for a lot more people. So we did like a lot of due diligence on our end, talked to a bunch of guilds, talked to a bunch of players, and the shared sentiment across all of them is the same. The lack of quality assets. And so by October of last year, we started approaching people, investors within the industry. Took a look at like who's actually the leaders in the play for space and approach them. It was actually quite easy, and we were quite lucky because we came at a time where people understood like what YGG was missing, right? That for them to be able to reach that tremendous growth that they actually wanted, they needed someone to help them produce assets for them. And it's not just YGG. YGG is just one guild. Blockchain space estimates around 20,000 plus guilds across all countries. And we want to be able to be the one to supply them all. Next slide, please. So we launched our token, actually quite lucky as well, back in April when market was very stable. People asked us actually why we launched the token during such a time and why was there such a hurry. So I mentioned earlier that our origins back that we wanted to be a decentralized organization. And what we realized is that the power of the community is always and will always be greater than the power of an individual. So we wanted to give the power back to the people, back to the gamers. And the vision has always been to allow the users to create their own assets and to design their own assets so that they may be able to enjoy what it truly means to be a decentralized organization. So yeah, we envision the future of the metaverse to not be limited towards individuals who have access to technology. We actually believe that eventually people will all move to the metaverse, not as their primary venue for meeting people or for like as a means of escape, right? But it actually promotes an alternative, right? So a lot of us here didn't even believe in like the power of Zoom or Google Meets prior to the pandemic. But when we actually experienced that kind of, I guess, not luxury, right? But that we were actually forced to do so, right? Because of the pandemic, because people weren't allowed to go out. But we needed like to get things done. And the best way to do that was via online. So right now, even though restrictions are easing up, and a lot of people have slowly gone back to their usual route of going out, people already changed their habits and have now adjusted to doing their meetings over Zoom or Google Meets, right? And we envision the same thing for the metaverse, especially as it gets closer and closer to reality, right? Once you are able to experience that immersive or more immersive experience within the metaverse, then people suddenly who are abroad can now easily be reached because you can now meet, in the central lab or in sandbox, right? But for you to be able to do that, you've got to own your assets, and you want to be able to own your assets within the metaverse because assets ultimately are the building blocks of the metaverse. And we talked about like being able to fully own your assets within a blockchain as like its greatest use case. But what exactly does that mean if I can bring it to anywhere I want to go? And if that's actually just tied into one of the things or one of the games that I play. So we call ourselves like the factory of the metaverse, and we are staying true to that. We just don't want to make like assets for games that's aligned with a game mechanisms, right? So that's currently breeding, crafting, cloning, anything that is like Ponzi-ish in a sense, because the flywheel allows for people to create assets, earn using these assets, and then eventually move on to the next thing. We want to allow users to design and create their own assets such that these would be retained within the economy. That they would actually value collecting these assets and designing these own assets because they have a sense of attachment to it. We don't want users to feel detached because they don't think that they actually have a say or they can do something about their asset. And that's actually what's lacking right now. The ability for people to decide to do something about their asset in a way that allows them to do so, even though they don't have like a technical experience. So again, a BreederDAO, what we envision would be to power or to become a platform that would allow users to design and create their own assets. And eventually, these assets will be used across different metaverses as people's own identity, as their own representation. Right? And that's going to be a powerful movement that provides an alternative solution to whatever it is that we have. So thank you everyone, and
Thank you. That was really great. All right. So for our very last pitch, may call on Ken Ramos from Frens.
Hi everyone, good evening. I feel so intimidated with all the big NFT groups. So anyway, my name is Ken Ramos. I'm the community manager of Friends Not Food. I hope that you've heard of us because we're very young in the NFT community here in the Philippines. Actually, we just started last January of this year. So that's been 7 months. But if you haven't heard of us, Friends Not Food is a mission-driven NFT wherein we advocate for veganism, animal welfare, and environmental sustainability. So our NFTs are inspired by our advocacies, of course. So here you can see humans with their animal friends that have their own characteristics and personalities. Because actually, the main goal of Friends Not Food is to grow a community of people wherein we resonate the message of being kind to everyone. So that's just compassion towards animals. So we have the kaibigan deals, which is the utility of our NFT. So kaibigan is a play on word, which is from kaibigan, the Filipino term for friend, and vegan, which is one of our advocacy. So kaibigan deals, right now it's just a web application, and it's only accessible to Friends Not Food NFT holders. But once we sold out, we will build a subscription-based app, which we will launch to the public. So if you get an NFT right now from Friends Not Food, you'll have a 1 year free subscription once we release it to the public. So these are our partner brands across the country. So I hope you're familiar with some of them. They're mostly vegan stores in the Philippines. So here's our video for vegan news. So as a mission-driven group, we also want to commit 50% of our profit to charities that are aligned with our advocacy. So that includes animal shelters or other humanitarian agencies. That's it. It's very short. Actually, just want to share the experience that we have started minting last July 1st, so it hasn't been a month yet. And we're very thankful for the Breaker Startup House for giving us the opportunity to meet with other NFT enthusiasts here in Metro Manila and of course across the Philippines. So here's our QR code if you want to engage with us on social media. And I just want to end the presentation by saying that animals are friends, not.
All right. Thank you. All right, so that's it for all of our pitches. Can we give a round of applause to all those presenters? All right, so we're gonna head out to at least my favorite part of the night is we're gonna have some time to network. But again, just a friendly reminder, if you guys want to be part of the next BBB, next Thursday, that is on August 20, I think every fourth Thursday of the month, you could just scan this QR code and then we'll be reviewing and get in touch with you guys. Hope to see you guys next fourth Thursday of the month of August. So, all right, let's open up the floor for networking now. Thanks, guys. Had a great time.
Check, check, check.
Ano pa ba ang kaya ng utak na maisulat? Kapag lapis ang sumayad, di na ba magkakatulad ang digma at mga letra, pati gamit ng pambuhat? Ideyang sa katerba at salitang sa katutak na ka. Biga doon sa kwarto, magpapahinga na sana. Gusto nito sulatan yung plano ng pisara, maging patok sa kamlasa. Yan ang di ko matutukoy, tumakas sa dito sa bakit nagpapatuloy, tuloy. Ang aking pagnanasan hanggang doon sa tuloy maka. Sulat ka pa lamang itigilot din sa kaya sa marilang inira. Ano ang pahinga kung hindi nakakaya? Kung may kasunod ka ba, araw-araw gagawin yung ibang magkakaka. Walang araw kung sino nandun ko sa kanila. Nandun ko sa kanila. Isang dapat natin, paano kakailangan yung tanong nila sa akin madalas. Pagkausapin na si Sai, ang mga pangarap kong binibigay kung susumahan. Trabaho sa labi ay mas sigat ang iyong unahin. Bumubuhay sa kaluluwa, hindi palagi. Kung saan sila matutuwa, maghapon ng bibig, may bago tumitig, hindi na ako matinig, isang puno na hitid, at tuwas ako mag-isip. Ikaw ay karaniwan, kung hindi ka sa pag-ibig, ito yung tayo may iwan, ito yung nagaling sa bibig. Puso ang naibigan para ikaw ay matapig. Gawin ang naibigan, kaibigan at ano ba ang kaya ng utak na maisugat. Kapag lapis ang sumaya, hirap na magkakatulad Kasi wala naman pagsubok ang di kayang lagpasan. Kung minsan ka nang nabubog na ligaw ka sa daan, di ba? Gawang matulog kapag nag-aalaman, ay nahula na tutok, ubus na ang lalagyan, di ka sa kalat, at parang may galulit, higit mo na maawat at sinasali ng mag-isip, dati ko ba alam kala may tira ko na ginig, nawalay hawak-hawak, na dahil sa pag-ibig, sa salamin nakatingin, abang na pag-ibig mo. Pagkain ay nagkakalang at di nagkakubig sa kami ko lang inarap ay nakakuha ng suwing sa sakit dapat malapit na umuwi sa tag kasama ng aking minamahal hindi ko'y katuparan ng bawat inyong dinadasal patawad sa pagkakasal di ko na kumisal kahulugan ng aking ngalan kayo ang sumatutal kung minsan nakalay hindi ko nakikita ang inyong sakripisyo ng bakit maitama alagin lang. Sa nili ko kay maghanap ng kanagising ay mabating niyo ang inawa kayangan at patuloy sa aking paglalakbay. Bibig ko inyong tayo na tinuring kong gabay, hindi palaging panalo. Minsan kailangan sumablay at kahit mismo ang matay, mahusay matatangay sa kada hakbang at aking napupuntahan. Nais lugit ang alaala, kayo'y kasama sa kalagalan at abakada, malalathala ang mapakita kung saan magmula. Sa pangarap ay magana, tsaka na yung sakana ang alis na walang mapapalari ng sagana sa paga, bahala at bawat talaga ay bawat pag-asa ang inyong pahawak. Di man ang Jamandat niwang palagi ko hawak pag-ulit sa palad sa tubig malakad sa init mababag bakitin malapad pareho kinahambigin mo ang pangarap.
Kasi ako, mapa ko aking pangarap sa daan yung ginagapang mapa ko ang kalibuyan na ako ang aking utang mga natamo na sugat na hindi kinaya ko ng bulak sa dami na nagpauna, dami rin ang siyang nakitulak hanggang utang sa isang katutang na pinasulat sa hotel nung may bulas pa. Sumakay ng di alam kung paano ko pumasino ang kontradiction hanggang may sumamaya masinod na sinip pag-usap din ng tupok sa hindi ka alis-alis natutong lumain sa mga pamalating di basta-basta kanyang labako biglang bumili kung sumira ng gawa pinasinta ng makinig gusto mo kanta sa ikang salita mo kay panalo ng liga at kung hindi tumaapot ay malamang tanaw nila at ipalikot. Ano ang kaya ng gawin? Magagawa mo rin nung naang tuwa'y balik Dati ko palasik sa dami ng inihain sa lamig sa malasik pamanin. Ang dalang kalesa, teka, kasi muna bago ikuto, pakape, kasi sa bawat sunto, tahimik ko ito. Kung gustong maging dalipinan, gagawin ko minsan ako ay nito matinin lahat ibigado. Kay mo kapalit, sa bakit o bakit inisagin, hindi na napiro, pinipigapan ng mundo kahit mapakos madalas di ka matirinig. Hindi ka matirinig, hindi matirinig,
Kamusta ka na ba? Ayun, paalala lang kami nga pala ang Titik Poetry, kasama namin ang duet mismo. At ayun, salamat sa pagpapairam ng space. At just quick promotion lang na meron kami upcoming event, fundraising event na dito rin gaganapin sa Great First Startup. And this Saturday, July 30, at kung meron kayong oras para samahan kami, pwede kayong makijoin, pwede kayong makinig, at meron kami mga speaker na galing sa iba't iba. Yung isang speaker nandito si Tito Jobet. Ayan, kaway ka naman Tito Jobet. Ayan. So, pwede kayong mag-join, pwede kayong pumunta para supportahan. Siyempre, makinig sa mga speaker. At ayun, nag-NFT rin kami. May promote ba kayo yan? Go-promote ba kayo?
Promote na rin natin yung mga NFT projects natin. Ito, yung mga kasama ko ngayon, mga from Titik Poetry, mga spoken word artists, mga writers sila. So, they're minting their spoken word pieces, their literature, their books sa platforms gaya ng Pesos kanina na nabanggit. So, watching Pesos. So, ayun, we're mostly on Pesos blockchain. So, we're also advocating na sharing the advocacy of Web3 na sana yung ibang artists din ma-onboard din namin. So, if you're an artist, pwede nyo kami sabihan and we can onboard you. Wala kang kahit anong isipin, yung art mo lang yung kailangan isipin, and we're more than happy to have you. So ayun, let us serenade you with some more performances. Ayun, so ayun, enjoy the night and network lang tayo.
Tuloy tayo. Wala, gusto ko lang mag-perform. Bakit tagagulo rin mag-perform? Sige, go ahead.
Marami na rin ang napagdaanan, pinagsalo ko na rin maski pasiliwat daan, bilang isip at inasasakupan nilawakan, kaya't nalaman ko mga bagay na dapat kong iwasan madalas. Gusto na lang sumuko kapag niliwawagin, sinusulit bawat oras sa akin na nalalabig. Sigurado ka, plano dahil hindi nagmadali, basta ako pangarap ka, palabas sa uwi. Dumating pa sa mundo, magulang ay nakaalingan sa dali, kung natatamik sa mundo ng katiwiman, buti na lamang, ako'y nahatak at naliwanagan, kumaway sa pinagdari. Una pa'y nakamigilan, pinipigan ang isip, bago niya ang kuwaman, mas namin sasabay sa mga iba, hindi palayan, nasikitan ng kapit para dito, kung nadami, isena sa tago na gusto na
Kamusta na ako? Ito pa rin sa'yo tumutupad. Sinong itong mga pangarap sa tula, inilahan ang atuway na sa tumana sa maglagay. Hindi naman sa naway matampitan na ng kamay. Ang mga muntikinig Natin noong bata pa tayo sa daming dapat gawin na magkita ba ay malabo. Masarap tanawin ang darating nyo ay malayo. Ngunit may dapat lingunin sa mga magpunta na iba ay maghimalimot. Umalala sa datiyang umalalay, tumalikod na kasama, di pinuring, nakaaway, na natiling kasanggapas sa kaniman ay kagaapay. Sigit sa mga bara ala-ala habang buhay mo kalat siya lalaki sa piskin ng kasaysayan sa sumigay bumabayan na static ilakaki. Nalimi ng lagaan at namunga ng maigay. Ang bigay na nagulapit sa lupa ng Cavite. Di na nasa, kaya nga di na nasa. Kapag di man lasa, bakit na Gina tsaka? Umabot pinadala, kami sa pinababa. Ngayon mas pinalala, hindi hanggang kapila, kung minsan nakakapanibago. Nasa isang kulang paglaho. Kumpas ng mga litrato ay pinagdaanan ng kalayo dahil kung saan tinabog na payong mula sa kahapon. Inabot sa sisintan na suot hanggang sa paglaon may laking na kumpay. Nakaulit sa buo na ating matiligaw na ito'y nakasamang bumuo ng pangarap na tayo at abang at lumako. Napuyat na liwanag na may gigising na ako sa hinaharap. Nalilito mga minsan sa daan. Bawat titig sa sulat kayo ang kabuuan. Hindi man masating direkta. Lagi ka kung pautan ulit. Bangis yung kahulugan sa salitang pagmamahal.
Kagustuhan mong maging ay naging iba pero di bali na kung mahina pa. Hindi mo kasalanan kung hindi sila pabor sa iyong mga ginagawang mahirap na ipaliwanag sa mga nangmamatang nagsasabi na walang mapapalatan. Kahit pamot, tagumpay ka lahat sila'y mananatili ng pikit matagayat. Gustuin mo lang na maging ikaw, tuparin mga pangarap at huwag kang bibitaw. O alam ang pinatahak ay malabong manigaw.
Kaya ikaw, baka pwede makinig. Ito, na nga binubukha ko ang bigre na bigla. Hindi ko sinulat. Ito na si Jared at kanyang nababaksakan. Nababat ang bola ng mga kalabog at hanggang makarating sa tugato. At meron pang paparating na event. At solid kanina, hindi ka ba mahuli? Puri lang at meron mga
Kahit pa ano,
sige, freestyle ba? Yung
Madahil sa malayo, parang isukunan. Subok masasalamat, tumabato bigla, matalas ko kasayo, masayang kaagasan. Iba ng pagpupag, gusto ka rin sa paralisan, bago ng kaalaman. Sa akin ay pumasan, sa lahat kami sa pera ng dalaman ng kalikasan, kailangan tumakas. Hindi na pwede panghinaan, hindi na pwede bumito, wala na ang nakakasahan. Simple mo na lang, kung ang lahat, darating ng panahon na kayo, ugayahan. Hindi na magsukulang at hindi na rin masasalat. Pinagpapalit ang mga sabay kasama ng mga tapat. Kaya tuloy-tuloy lang sa biyahe. At paglalakad, nakakabot ko rin mga pangarap na inaangat. Lakad ko na sa ngayon, bukas na lang ilipat kasi nagtatago ng swerte. Kaya bawat papat.
ayun, magiging kami ang group ng Titik Poetry at Dualismo at ayun, you can check our project by searching on it sa DP, Ongguyan, and other tricks na ginagawa namin sa NFT at malaki siyang ano sa amin tulong since kami ay magkakasamang artist sa isang bahay. So, every collection ay pag-support din sa passion namin at also sa
Yun, promote na din namin yung event namin this Saturday, yung Xircus, Sigya Conference. May iba't ibang mga talks. Nandiyan si Shia Jokno, si Gio Manlangit, and sino ba? Si Tito Jopet, syempre, nandito kasama natin ngayon. So, ayun, magkita kayo tayo Saturday. At meron din pala tayong exhibit na mangyayari, exhibit opening sa gabi ng Saturday din sa Kalawakan Space Time. It's near Treasure Mall sa may Quezon Ave. So, mag-open siya ng 7 p.m. and onwards siya doon. You can check out yung mga works ng iba't ibang Filipino NFT artists na nando doon. At yun, support natin yung community, support natin yung growing community. And yun, salamat. Tapos, recently, we opened an office studio. So, ino-open din namin siya para sa mga tao. Sa inyo, sa lahat, pwede tayo magkape doon. May coffee for sale doon, tapos may food din.
Tapos, pwede rin tayo magpa-event doon. So, if ever na may gusto kayo na pag-usapan, like, it's a safe space for everyone, especially para sa atin ng mga dito. So, ayun, search nyo lang kami sa social media platforms, Titik Poetry. Kami dalawa, may percussion group kami, dualismo. So, ayun, check out nyo lang. Salamat.
Ayan, para sa lahat ng nakinig, para sa lahat ng nagpunta, para sa lahat ng mga oras at dumayo pa at sa Diyos na may gawa ng langit at lupa. Maraming salamat.
Salamat.